Welcome to AEW Rewind. I'm Woody.
I am Sarah.
And this is a special episode. It is a preview of Blood and Guts, which looks to be an epic episode of Dynamite coming up this Wednesday on TNT.
So excited.
Fight TV over there for you.
Yeah.
An awesome card set up all together. I'm going to run down the list of the matches real quick.
Yep.
First off, we have Cody Rhodes versus QT Marshall. These are not necessarily in any kind of order, but Cody Rhodes versus
change.
exactly. But Cody Rhodes versus QT Marshall. Then we have SCU versus Jurassic Express versus Varsity Blondes versus the Acclaimed for a shot at the tag team titles, being held by the Young Bucks. Kenny Omega and Michael Nakazawa versus Jon Moxley and Eddie Kingston. And then we have Britt Baker in action against opponent to be named. But what we're going to spend the most of our time talking about is going to be what should be an awesome main event, the Blood and Guts match, Inner Circle versus the Pinnacle, and what is sure to be a brutal. Did I say brutal?
Main event. You said brutal, yeah.
For Dynamite. So
excited
really
for that.
Excited. And if I'm cutting out in and out as the show goes on, it's because I'm on my way to Jacksonville. I'm recording this, currently recording this from my truck. So
he wishes he was.
I really do wish I was. Who doesn't wish they were?
Anybody that is going to see this, just know we are super jealous.
Oh, you have no idea.
You have no idea.
If I could have gotten the approval from the wife, I would be on my way. Trust me.
If I could get the approval from the government, I'd be on my way.
It's much easier for me, but maybe more dangerous. So we'll see.
Yeah.
All right. Now that we got the match card lined out, let's talk some Blood and Guts.
Let's go.
First off, the first match we're going to talk about is going to be Cody Rhodes and versus QT Marshall, and yeah, this has been building for a while between the Factory and the Nightmare family. We saw last week how things ended up on top of the bus with QT and the figure 4 from Cody Rhodes.
Was I the only one that was really surprised that that entire section of Dynamite ended up on top of a bus?
No. I don't think anybody saw that coming. Except for Cody, who was hiding in the bus.
In the bus?
Yeah, I think he knew. So, what are your thoughts going into this match? What do you expect?
So I've been thinking about this, how this could possibly work. Because, look, I was surprised that Cody came back at all to begin with, because I didn't think that was happening until after Brandy had the baby and he took the time off. So that was a surprise. So the only way I think, bearing in mind this is my personal opinion, this will work is if Cody is basically got a lot of offense in and is getting ready to pin QT, and our friend Anthony Ogogo guts him with that punch. Cody goes down, QT pins. Big brawl afterwards.
We're pretty much on the same page there.
Okay.
The thread with this whole feud has been the consistent use of Anthony Ogogo's fist.
Yeah.
Keeps happening. So I don't have any reason to think it's not going to happen in this match. That kind of feels like a payoff to a degree.
Yeah.
It's got to. That feels like it needs to happen unless Anthony gets involved and their plan is thwarted as far as trying to deliver the blow to Cody, and it results in a Cody versus Anthony Ogogo match, and that's how Cody
Yep.
Yep. So that's my only my only alternate thought with that, because I'm thinking the same way you are. I think it's going to end with QT Marshall winning, so I'm going to officially pick QT Marshall winning due to Anthony Ogogo's fist interference.
Fist interference. That's what we're calling it, by the way.
Sounded weirder than I thought it was going to sound when it came out. So, but either way, it's out there. So I do.
The only other way I think that this would go, and it's sort of along the same lines as what you've just said, but Cody pins QT, and as he's taking his little victory, Anthony Ogo steps in, punches him, and then
down he goes.
Down he goes. Bearing in mind, Arn can't do much, probably, or he's like restricted by the other two, and then the rest of the Nightmare family pile in.
Ooh, yeah. Now I like that. I like that happening during Cody's little, his celebration after the match. What if, and this just popped into my head, every Anthony Ogogo punch has been a body blow so far. What if this is the time he unleashes a haymaker to Cody's face? A literal, a knockout blow. I know. They haven't done that yet. It's been body blow, and that's been a big deal. But what if he delivers a Tyson kind of shot to Cody, and after the match, and it's sold better than a Judas effect.
I mean, the way that you could do that is then Cody's carried out on a stretcher once again, and that's him off.
Yeah. Did Anthony Ogogo just break his neck? I mean, that's the question. And Cody's going to sell like $1 million.
I do love how we was like, so we're going to do one definitive answer, and now we've given it like 4 scenarios. One of them's going to come true. If none of these come true, we have a problem.
You throw enough stuff at the wall, eventually something's going to stick. So
basically,
you're right. One of these scenarios has got to be correct, right?
Okay. It has to be. Watch this space, people. One of them has to be correct.
No, watch this. Now something else completely different is going to happen. Really? Oh
my God, I thought we covered everything.
All right. Cool. Yeah. So next on the list is SCU versus Jurassic Express versus Varsity Blondes versus the Acclaimed for a shot at the Young Bucks tag titles. This should be a fun match with the 4 teams involved. The thing I'm looking forward to the most is what Max Caster is going to rap about coming to the ring.
100%.
I'm hoping they come in last because they'll have a lot of different people to work with there. So
I just want to see what he's going to say about Luchasaurus in this.
I didn't think about that. Oh, a good dinosaur rap is what we need on Wednesday.
It is. That would make me very happy.
Yeah. Going in, it feels like I know we've talked about it before. It feels like the winner is kind of telegraphed because of the SCU promo on the Young Bucks last week. So it really, really, it's hard for me to pick anybody different than SCU in this, just because there's no real beef between any of the other teams and the Young Bucks. Yeah. And I think the story there is for the Young Bucks to eventually be the cause of SCU splitting up. So I think they have to face. I think this is how they'll get there, is with SCU winning.
I think I'm with you on that. I mean, I've been back and forth with this because I was like, but they're already number 1 contender, so why is this even happening? But I guess, if SCU win, then obviously, the Bucks more than likely will walk out. And then obviously the Bucks aren't going to drop the titles to SCU.
No.
And then my hope is, are you ready?
I'm ready.
That a certain Jon Moxley and Eddie Kingston get a title shot at some point, because that would be, that would be war on this channel here between me and you.
this may be the end before it begins. Yeah.
I love how there's an ocean splitting us apart, but that may not stop it. If it
Yeah,
happens.
yeah, yeah.
If it happens.
If it happens.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
if it feels like it's going to happen, I'm throwing it out there. Not that I necessarily want to see it, but I feel like it's going to happen.
I
think
want to
you're on
see
the
it.
right. I think you're on the right track. So
I want to see it just for like my pure
Yeah.
enjoyment. But yeah, SCU wins this and so on and so forth for that.
all right. So you're going SCU as well.
Yeah.
All
Watching now, we're completely surprised. Varsity Blondes win.
Didn't see that one coming.
This will be the worst idea we've ever done of trying to predict this, and everything goes wrong.
We went on this long talk about how we've planned it out for the next month and a half, and then the Varsity Blondes win this, and then they win the tag titles, and we're like, what?
What the?
Huh?
We'll never do a prediction again.
No. No more prediction shows. Done.
Nope.
All right. Next, we have Kenny Omega and Michael Nakazawa versus those two guys that we just spoke of, Jon Moxley and Eddie Kingston. This match is brought about, because these Eddie Kingston and Jon Moxley acted like a bunch of kids that were gonna take their ball and go home, get their match against Kenny Omega and Michael Nakazawa. So here we are. Congratulations, they got their match. Hope you're happy.
I'm ecstatic.
Mm-hmm.
Choke Omega out. Choke him out.
Make sure to sneak up behind him when you do it.
Oh.
You're gonna take a sneak attack.
That is called tactics.
Is that what it is? That's also what it was called when. You know what? No. You know what? That's what when Kenny Omega used the microphone. That's what that was. That was
breaking a gentleman's agreement.
That was winning the championship. Is what that was. That. All I know is that ended with him hoisting the title over his head. But continue.
If you were going to tackle a bear because the bear was threatening.
Why would I tackle a bear?
Just listen. Just listen. If you wanted to tackle a bear,
I don't want to tackle a bear
because the bear was walking towards your tent, and your favorite snacks are in there. You wouldn't walk towards the bear face on. You'd sneak attack the bear. Therefore, sneak attack is tactics.
I'm not sneak attacking a bear for the say some Cheez-Its. I'm just letting you know.
Well, I'm just saying. These are decisions you have to make.
I got you, though. I got you. Yep. Tactics.
My point stands. You can use whatever analogy you want. My point stands.
I can think of some better ones than a bear trying to get my Cheez-Its. But go ahead. I think it's great.
So my theory is that Eddie Kingston prevents Don Callis from getting near Moxley. Kenny Omega is KO'd somewhere around the ring. And Moxley chokes out Michael Nakazawa and the boys win.
Well, since Michael Nakazawa is in this match, and this is the only reason. Yes, that is the only reason I'm picking Moxley and Kingston to win this match. Because if it was anybody else with Kenny Omega, if he had one of the Good Brothers, one of the Bucks, basically anybody else other than Michael Nakazawa, because he's going to come out there with a headset and a laptop, and he just ain't ready. He never seems ready for a match, If it was anybody else, then I think Omega could overcome these odds. But that being said, yes, I agree. Michael Nakazawa is going to I'll just go the other way. I think Eddie Kingston is going to catch him with a backhand and take him out that way. I think that's how it's going to happen. He's going to knock him out.
So we also know wrestling. So you can't have the world champion taking a pin.
No.
Also, I really want Michael Nakazawa to do the baby oil spot and Moxley and Eddie just to look at each other really confused, and then just both kick him in the gut and paradigm shift him. Oh,
what? The spot he does where he pulls his like thong underwear out. Do
Yeah.
you think he attempts that against either one of these men?
I think he
You think
tries and just gets a face, like
Oh,
a boot in his face or something.
keep an eye out for that one, y'all. If you see Nack's underwear come out, whew, yeah,
It just reminds me of Rikishi.
it does have that feel to it.
It does have that feel to it.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Let's just hope he doesn't attempt a stink face. Let's not go there. Yeah,
takes me
forget
back.
it. Does. Good times.
Mm.
But not being stink face is not a good time. But never mind. All right,
Moving on.
moving on. Next we have Britt Baker versus somebody. Not sure who that is.
How would you like to call this one?
Do you think Britt Baker's going to win, or is somebody going to pull off the victory?
I think Britt Baker's going to win.
Look, I'm going to laugh when that somebody's Jade Cargill.
Oh my god! Don't
and your
throw
jaw
that
drops.
into the works.
And your jaw hits the floor.
Basically.
Yeah. No, yeah. I think you're correct. I think whoever comes out, it's not going to be anybody big. This is going to be a squash match, and Britt Baker's going to win.
Or it's a surprise, as in somebody new.
Could be. You never know. They like to pull surprises like that every now and then. But yeah, I think it's a pretty safe bet, though, that Britt Baker is going to win this match.
And do we expect Sheeta to come out at the end for some reason?
I believe so.
Or Thunder Rosa.
Yeah. Interesting.
We shall see.
I put my money on Sheeta either walking down the ramp with the title at the end, or either her being in the crowd, because a lot of times she's in the crowd watching the matches. So something, you're right. Something's going to happen between them.
Yeah.
And the big boy here, the main event, the one everybody is going to be talking about before and after this show.
100%.
Yes. The one I am on my way to Jacksonville to see.
He wishes.
I wish. Yep, I wish. In my dreams. The Blood and Guts match between the Inner Circle and the Pinnacle. Jericho, Jake Hager, Sammy Guevara, Santana and Ortiz of the Inner Circle, and MJF, Wardlow, Sean Spears, Dax, and Cash of FTR, all there for the Pinnacle. We're going to have 2 rings, both enclosed by a giant cage with a roof. 2 competitors are going to enter the match, and after 5 minutes, another competitor comes in at 2-minute intervals until everybody's in the ring from the Inner Circle and the Pinnacle. And the only way to win this match is by submission or surrender. This thing has
blood and guts written all over it.
Literally, figuratively, and every other way. Yes. If there's ever a match that was made for the name Blood and Guts, this is it. Perfect too, because you look at the people that are in it. I mean, you just look at those names, and it's matched up perfectly with guys on certain levels in their careers, well, certain tiers within the company also. With MJF matching up with Jericho, Wardlow matching up with Hager, Spears and Sammy, Santana Ortiz against FTR. It's the 2 groups are just crafted perfectly to face each other in this match. It's so even. So I dare I ask, are you excited for this?
I've been waiting for this since last year it was announced and got cancelled. It was supposed to be the Elite against Inner Circle. So I have literally been waiting for over a year for this to happen in some carnation, and I am like, I'm gonna be watching this in the morning, but I'm even thinking of having like a drink, like an alcoholic drink with me, just because I probably need to calm my nerves from the excitement that I will be feeling. Like, I'm gonna watch this at like 10:30 in the morning my time. So
you're just waking up. I mean, that's
basically, yeah. I'll be
yeah.
awake
I
for
know
about an
that's
hour.
it's gonna be a lot to take in that early in the morning.
I know. And I think it's one of them where I'm just gonna have to like sit down and prepare. Like I can watch all the other matches and I'll be okay. Obviously the Mox and Kingston one, I may get excited, but everything else. And then when we build up to this, I generally think like I need like, you know, a quick bathroom break, snacks, drinks, the dog to be
Like
asleep.
you need to take an intermission.
I need an
Before this.
intermission before I start this, and then just sit down.
Yeah.
I'm even going to make everything dark so it's more intense.
Oh
And
yeah.
then I'm just
Set the
going to
mood.
sit
Set the
down
mood.
and enjoy because I am so excited. And that is a snapshot into my life.
And there you go.
And
Now
then
we know
that's it.
we have the picture painted of how Sarah is going to watch this match. So if y'all need any pointers on how to get ready for the match, there you have it.
Yeah, 100%.
Just there's your blueprint. So, any predictions as far as a winner for this and how we're going to get there?
I have 2 separate predictions.
You do?
I can't pick.
Yeah, I'm still not sure.
I can't pick. Like, I always think it's going to go one way, and then for some reason my brain goes, no, that's not going to happen. What about the other way? And then I go, oh, yeah. The other way.
Yeah.
And then I start thinking about that, and then I get, like, confused, and then I don't know. I really don't know how this is going to go.
I don't. Look, my gut tells me that the Pinnacle is going to win. I'm just going to throw that out there. Yeah, it feels like they should. They're the new group. You're trying to build them up. Trying to make them feel like the Horsemen. I'm just going to put it that way of AEW. They need, and since they're new, they need that big win to solidify them as the dominant force that they should be known as in AEW. So my gut tells me that the Pinnacle is going to win. I'm still racking my brain trying to figure out how that's going to go down though. So many moving parts in the match, but my gut tells me it's going to be the Pinnacle. My heart wants to go with the Inner Circle, mainly because of the fire we've seen with Santana. That is what has more than anything with that group has me wanting them to win it, is just because of what I've seen from him. So do you have a winner in mind at least? I know you're still trying to go over how you think it's going to finish.
Yeah. I mean, I really don't know. But I am with you that the fact that I think it's going to be the Pinnacle. And I have my theories as to why. And I have like my theories of how the actual match is going to go in my head. Like, I have played this over since it was announced this was happening so many times in my brain. And even when I am sleeping, this is how much it's got into my like internal psyche. It's like I'm even planning this match in my dreams, which is really weird. Because it is.
You talking about it in your sleep?
Yeah. Because it's wrestling. Like there's literally, it's wrestling. There isn't any like ginormous catastrophic event that will happen if like this doesn't go a certain way. But it feels like I need to get it right. I feel like I need in my head to know exactly. Yeah, because I am like genuinely like excited, but I have like normally sometimes I have an inkling or like a rough idea how it's going to go. And sometimes you can actually see how it's going to go. Yeah. But on this one, I'm generally 50-50 unsure.
Because the person I have here to bounce things off of are my daughter and my wife, who don't give a rip about wrestling. So we're sitting outside watching the dogs play. My daughter's playing on her swing set. And I'm like, it just hits me. I'm like, oh man, blood and guts. And I start talking to my wife. I'm like, this and this and this and this, and I start going through these scenarios of what could happen. And I get done. I'm like, what do you think? She's like, yeah, that's awesome. So I'm okay. Never mind. Forget
Yeah.
it. But I don't want to. Sometimes I just want to get the words out, which is what I'm doing here, what we get to do. But it's so funny. Like sometimes I just want to get it out right where I'm sitting, and usually 99% of the times, right where I'm sitting and who I'm talking to doesn't give a crap about what I'm talking about. So
Yeah. I get that as well.
Yeah.
And then sometimes my husband isn't even here for like a week, so I end up talking to the dog. So at least you've got humans. I have a pug.
Good point. Good point. At least
At least
the
you
pug
look
doesn't
sort
tell you.
of normal.
Yeah, but at least the pug doesn't tell you, I don't care.
No, he
You
doesn't
can
tell me
pretend.
that. He doesn't tell me that, but he walks off. He just looks at me with like absolute disgust and walks off.
All right, you win. You win.
Yeah. It's
worse.
nothing more lonely and like realization that no one cares what you're talking about than to a dog that like loves everybody unconditionally, just looks at it and goes, I don't know, and walks off. And you're just like, yeah, sums it up.
That's when you gotta sit there and just keep feeding him treats as you're talking. Keep his attention.
Just to keep him there.
Yeah, here's another crumb. Just keep listening to me. Just pay him.
To me.
So you're officially going with the pineapple, correct?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Is there anybody going into this match that you were legitimately worried about being injured? Like if you could pick one person, I mean, who's the one you're worried about?
Santana and Ortiz.
Mm-hmm.
Just because I know from the promo it's personal.
Yep.
And I just think they're literally just going to throw themselves at it. And because my hope is still for them to get the tag titles this year, I'm just like, if they get like legitimately injured, like not even like in wrestling terms, like legit injured.
Legit, because there's a chance with this match. I mean,
there is like seriously a chance. It's quite a high possibility than normal. And if one of them gets legit injured and is off for like 7 months or something, it goes.
Yeah, that would be rough.
So like
that would put a hamper on our plans. Yeah, of them winning the titles at some point this year.
Yeah. Because definitely. I don't generally think anybody else in this match is actually on a course for getting a title.
Yeah, correct.
I think they are the ones that are on the road to a title. And if one of them gets like legit injured, then that's going to derail it so much. And I know like legit injuries, like it's more than a title, but I want to see that happen. And they are like my favorite tag team in like the entire company. So to see that happen.
Not the Bucks?
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Do you know me at all?
Little.
Yeah. Who do you think?
I'd say I'm worried about Sammy.
Yeah, Sammy is insane.
Like I've seen Sammy do these 450, 780, 1230s, whatever, off the ring posts through tables, and he does some crazy stuff. So
and also, if you look at his match from last year at Revolution with Darby, that was crazy. Yeah,
with the ladder spots and stuff, right? There were some moments there. Things didn't happen just right. Somebody's really, really injured. I keep thinking about that cage. I know it's going to have a roof on it, but is there going to be a spot where just because there's a roof on doesn't mean you're not going to get out of it somehow and get on top of it. I mean, those things happen in wrestling. I just keep seeing in my head Sammy on top of that structure, doing something, which could end badly. He's crazy, the stuff that he
out
does.
Of all of them, Sammy's the flyer, isn't he? Out of everybody,
he is. There's not another real true flyer in that match. So, that makes me a little nervous. with a structure like that and what he might try to do.
Mm.
Hopefully, whatever he tries to do, I'm sure there'll be some spot in this match where he tries something. Hopefully, it'll work out perfectly. It'll look brutal, but it will not hurt anybody legitimately. But you take those risks. High risk, high reward. But those risks are high too. So
especially with Sammy being one of the young talent that is coming up through the company, that is going to be with the longevity of the company. You don't want anything to cut short or hamper the future progression of his career, because with him, MJF, Jungle Boy, and Darby, they're the four that we're watching. So Sammy's another one to cross your fingers for.
So who do you think bleeds first? Who wears a crimson mask before anybody else in this match? I mean, somebody's going to bleed, obviously.
Yeah. It depends which order you're going in as well.
Yeah. True. So we didn't talk about order.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, the Pinnacle are starting. So I think...
Well, Sammy's going to be in there first. I mean, he's going to be the first. He's already said he's going to be the first one in there for the Inner Circle. So but the Pinnacle, like you're saying, has the advantage. So they're going to have their first guy come down first. Yeah.
So I think it's going to be Spears in first. Then Sammy. Then the two tag teams are going in.
So you think a member of FTR come down first, followed by another member of
and then followed by and then Hagen Wardlow will go in. And then Jericho and MJF.
It makes sense. So think it's going to be one of the first two people in there to get busted open?
I honestly think it's going to be Sammy.
It makes sense.
Looking at his track record. And when we saw him in the match with Matt Hardy.
Yeah, and it might not be a planned blade job spot either. It could just be legitimately Sammy just busted himself open.
I can see for some reason, because if this is where they don't lock the door until everybody's in, as per other versions of this event, you can see Sean Spears harking back to the bit where they ambushed the Pinnacle in the dressing room when Sean Spears had his arm trapped in the door and doing that to Sammy.
Yep, true.
And I generally think Sammy's face is going to be in that cage at some point, like pressed against it.
He's going to eat the cage.
Yeah.
Well, I'll go the opposite way. I'll say Spears is going to get busted up first. I think Sammy will take him out. I think he'll look pretty cool with that mohawk too.
Yeah.
And bloodied up.
Isn't it blonde now?
Yeah, it is. It is. So
who was the last person that had blonde hair that got blooded?
Yeah, Cody's always going to get busted open with that blonde hair.
It's also that would also be a really good callback. In that sense.
Yep. That blood always looks good in that the light colored
hair. Yeah,
it does. It does. Do you think anybody makes a debut tonight during this match, like a surprise debut that alters the outcome? Is there a shot?
No.
Something wild like that happen, or it's just
I don't think they're going to do that
interference.
with. Yeah, I don't, because this has been waited for so long by fans and stuff. I don't think they could do anything that could alter the result or make it not as a clean cut finish at all, because I could just imagine Twitter afterwards. It would just be a complete meltdown. I mean, wrestling Twitter is not great at the best of times, but this would really push it to the edge.
Yeah, because I agree. You do need to pay this off.
Yeah,
with a clear cut. I mean, even if the Pinnacle cheats in some way to win, whether it be Tully or something, but it needs to be settled with who's there.
Yeah, exactly. It's got to be within the confines of this match.
Yeah.
Especially with how this feud has been built up from the day MJF joined. You've got to look at how far that tracks back. So it has to be there has to be an all right winner from this situation, because
Straight up.
it's just, I don't think Tony Khan wants that on his hands.
Yeah.
Something like, there's no Mike Tyson running down to do a save. There can't be anything like that.
Oh, God, I wasn't even thinking about Tyson either.
He may be there, and may, you know,
just
whatever
should we
but
have
he
him
doesn't get involved.
Should we have him just knock out Tully if Tully tries to get involved? Is that
Yeah,
what we're gonna
something
do?
like
Maybe
I'd say
outside spot.
something like that.
Okay, so you're saying we're saying Tully's going to take a punch to the face. All right.
If
we're okay
if
with
anybody
that.
comes, if anything comes from the side of the Inner Circle, it would be that, but I don't think it's going to involve the result
In
or
the match.
anything.
Okay,
No.
I would be okay with that. Yep. So if you had to pick, who is going to be submitted or surrender? So if we're picking the Pinnacle to win, so we've pretty much agreed. I know we could be swayed the other way depending on things, but we're pretty much going with the Pinnacle. So who takes the who surrenders or submits
Jericho.
of the Inner Circle? Really?
It's got to be Jericho. It's got to be done by MJF. That entire speech of taking the spot, taking your crown, it's got to be done by MJF on Chris Jericho.
I can see that playing out in my head now. Kind of sad looking.
Yeah, and I think the way I've envisioned it in my head, and let's just reiterate, this is my own thought process. I'm not saying this is happening, but my thing is where MJF is going for Jericho, but the rest of the Pinnacle hold back the rest of the Inner Circle and make them watch MJF take down Jericho.
Wow.
Just for that added nastiness, because that's MJF at the end of the day. And just make it that more visual and representation of, you know, like, this is your leader from day one. All that spiel's happened.
This is who you followed.
Yes,
look at him now.
Saying that Jericho's taking him to deep water, Sammy, all that type of stuff, to see the guy that they follow through everything, made to watch his complete and utter downfall.
So is there a possibility? Now I know and that's put beautifully, by the way. I mean, that's actually, I'm watching that play out in my head. It's kind of sad to watch, even though I'm not watching it yet. But,
I know. It's going to be heartbreaking.
I know. I'm wiping a tear away here for the whole thing. But is there I know the match has to end by surrender or submission, but if Jericho's unconscious, is this? I haven't seen anything in the rules. Can the match be stopped because Jericho can't surrender? Is that how you end the match, with him not literally surrendering or submitting if he passes out? Or
I think either that or like Sammy breaks free and taps for him.
Oh my goodness! Wow. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Welcome to my sadistic, twisted mind.
No. If you're okay, yes. Tony Khan, book this right here. That's it. That's the ending. That's the ending right there. Oh goodness.
Because if you look,
Sammy tapping
Sammy
for him.
Jericho thing has gone on since day one. It's like Jericho's took him under his wing. He's learnt from him the Diddler Sex Gods. Sammy was with Jericho planning the MJF downfall.
And that's why you have it not just submission.
Yeah.
Yep. Not just submission, surrender, because somebody else can surrender if somebody else is. Yeah. Man, I love that. I love that.
Because it just makes it, because it's always been Sammy and Jericho, as in kind of like the elder, like icon wrestler with like the guy that's come up from the indies type situation. Because
Jericho mentioned during the parlay that he handpicked Sammy.
Yeah.
Sammy, he brought in. I think it was during the parlay, sometime recently, anyways, where he said, "Hey, this is my guy. I brought him in personally."
Yeah.
So
The other way around it is Hager does it because, like Jericho said in the promo, Hager was there through it all, and when he was like in trouble in Abu Dhabi or something. So that's the other side. You can do it. The long-standing friend.
Could be. Man, okay. If it didn't go down like this, I think I'm gonna be disappointed now. Okay. I like it. I like it. I like it. Whatever ideas I had just went out the window. I'm going with this one. I'm going with this one. I'm going with it. Get on board, people. Get on board. This is the right way. This is the way.
Yeah.
All right. So who has the take your? I can't even get to the next question. I'm all flustered. Who gets the take your breath away moment in this? Which I think you already know my pick after I talked about Sammy. I think Sammy's gonna do something that's gonna make you go. So.
Yeah, Sammy is like a really good choice. I also think it's kind of like not an obvious choice, but it is Sammy. So he is one that does insane stuff. But I mean, I wouldn't count like Wardlow out of any of this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we haven't talked enough about Wardlow.
I mean, he is like, I think he's even bigger than Hager. So I wouldn't like. I could see him like doing something like from like the side of the thing down, you know, like not coming off from the top, but kind of like I'm expecting something.
Yeah, because Wardlow is, I mean, this could be a star-making moment if ever there was one. I know he had that in
the match with Cody.
Cage match with Cody.
Yeah.
But he's big, but he's so athletic for his size.
He's agile.
In the same way that Brian Cage is, if they can do things like if you're not familiar with them, you don't watch AEW. If tomorrow is the first time that somebody tunes in to watch AEW, they could let Wardlow pull something off that people would go, holy crap. I've never seen a guy that big do that.
Yeah.
You can hook people that way. So, I could see him having the take your breath away moment. Just because people wouldn't expect some things from him athletically that he can do.
But I also think throughout this, because they're going in individually, I think they're all going to have a moment where each one of them is the main focus until MJF and Jericho come in.
You think this gets about an hour? Is that what you're guessing?
Yeah, it's got to.
Second half of the show?
And I also think that they're going to do what they did at The Winter Is Coming, where they said, and we've agreed with TNT, if this goes longer than the broadcast, we go into extra TV time.
Amen. Yeah,
not necessarily meaning it's going to, but it gives you that that feeling that this is really important. There has to be a winner. There's no way around it. It's got to end one way or the other.
Yeah, and it keeps you necessarily from looking at the clock and going, oh, there's a minute left. Something's going to happen.
It will fly. It will fly by this.
Probably so. You're probably. I got the feeling I'm going to want it to keep going for another half an hour.
I have a feeling
I'm not going to be ready for it to end.
Watch this so many times over just to get every bit out of this match, because there's going to be so much going on. You will not be able to look at everything that is happening. When you have like multi-man matches, you literally your eyes are dying everywhere, and with a lot of them, the stories that are being told aren't necessarily in depth, where with this one it is all about this feud. So you'll see stuff that you won't have noticed the first time you've watched it.
Yeah. So you're gonna want to watch it again for sure.
Yeah.
You'll probably have watched it 3 times before we review it.
More than likely. I've got a lot of time.
Yeah. So if the Pinnacle wins, what happens to the Inner Circle after this? I mean, where do they go?
This is juicy. My theory is
And so far, your theories are pretty good. So I'm sitting on the edge of my seat now.
Yeah. So my theory is obviously MJF takes out Jericho.
Mhm.
Jericho disappears. He goes away for a while because at the end of the day, that will be humiliating in kayfabe way. So he goes away. I think with that, Hager also goes because I don't think you'd have Hager on his own without Jericho. And then with Sammy, I don't know with Sammy what he would go on with doing, but I suspect he would go on kind of like a singles milling about type thing, or kind of like looking like a lost boy, like not really having anything. But
especially if he's the one that surrenders too, because I'd answer a lot of questions about that.
Yeah, but I also think that because the Pinnacle wins, that gives Santana and Ortiz to become that dominant tag team again and start rising through them rankings.
So
that has to be the end game of this for them. That has to be the entire reason, one of the entire reasons why this is going to happen. They have to start getting them wins as a tag team. They've not done anything as a tag team for such a long time.
No, and it doesn't. It makes sense.
Yeah, and they've got to get them wins up to get them titles.
So, and I agree. I think that's the key to this. If Inner Circle loses, is to push Santana and Ortiz.
Yeah,
and the right way to do it would be if some people took some time off because of the match, and basically the Proud and Powerful are the two remaining members that are still still kicking after this for a little while, and they're the ones that represent the Inner Circle, and the only way they can is to go for that gold. So I can see that.
I think and once they get the gold, they can come back if the Inner Circle will still be a thing at that point.
Yeah. Now on the flip side, let's just say we're wrong and the Inner Circle wins. How would the Pinnacle recover if the Inner Circle beat them?
They wouldn't. That's the thing.
Yeah.
There literally would be no point.
My only thought with this, if there's a plan for somebody to leave the Pinnacle, and the person that taps or surrenders in this, MJF uses as an example, and kind of puts them down as a group, like a wolf pack scenario where they attack the weak one and kick them out. And this uses a vehicle to show how we're trimming the fat. We started as this, but look, that doesn't mean you're going to stay with us because you're with us. If you're a weak link, we're not going to have any weak links in this team, so we're going to cut you out if you're a weak link. So that's the only thing that would make sense. I don't want it to happen, but if you go that route, that's the only thing to me that makes sense. I'm not sure who that person would be. Or say everybody in the world would say Sean Spears. I don't want to see it though, because I think Spears needs to be with them.
You see, now you would have thought Sean Spears, because then MJF could use what Sammy said to him. You're a failure. You've been a failure since you came here. But on the flip side, it could be Wardlow, because as MJF has made clear in the past, AEW don't pay for Wardlow. MJF pays for Wardlow.
Good point. So that could be an out for Wardlow. That could be the babyface move for him. So not that we think this is what's going to happen, but
no, I honestly just can't see it going to be the Inner Circle that wins.
No, it doesn't feel right. Not that it wouldn't be a happy ending to the match, especially if Santana was involved in that finish somehow. It would feel good, but it still wouldn't feel right.
No.
It doesn't feel like that's what is in the stars right now.
No.
If any feuds come out of this match, and I'm assuming there will be at least one feud that sparks from this. Normally you have these feuds like before a big team versus team match that lead up to it. We really haven't had that other than Jericho and MJF a little bit. but it feels like it's kind of backwards in that we're going to have this, but you may have some feuds spin off of it.
Mm-hmm.
So what feud that could come out of this would you be most excited about? And I think I know your answer, but
Santana Ortiz, FTR.
there you go. Yeah. Yep. That makes sense.
Because
and I
if
would
you
have
look
to,
at them as tag teams, if you boil down their actual, I mean, I know we've not seen Santana Ortiz tag for a while, but if you boil down to like their actual in-ring work, they are matched in aggressiveness and the fact that they're both kind of like a grounded tag team. They're not jumping all over the place and high flying. So just to see them start a feud off, and you could see it where FTR taught them about the families still. And, you know, like, oh, you didn't win that match. Like, what are you going to say to your daughter and your son? And you could really see them, like, it turning into, like... Because last time we saw Santana and Ortiz tagging in a feud, it was against the Best Friends. And it dragged on a bit, but it was... When it got to, like, the point of it was
paid off.
A beautiful feud in the end when you go back through it. That surely that's something that they are good at with that type of, not a blood feud, but that could turn into it.
Oh yeah, definitely. That would be my number one pick. My only other one coming out of that would, I wonder what a feud between Sammy and Shawn Spears could look like.
Yeah, that's
if given
one.
time. Yeah, given time to breathe, just because of their different styles too. I know Sammy's more of a high flyer, energetic, a real baby face offense.
Yeah.
Against Shawn Spears, more grounded, old school kind of. So that could be fun too. But yeah, I agree. FTR, proud and powerful. Yeah, that's going to be.
Yeah, because also FTR is still ranked 5th in the tag team rankings. Santana and Ortiz, if they're going for them titles, will have to meet them at some point.
Start moving up the ladder.
Could be the battle between them where they're like swapping rankings going up to where you've got that kind of like whoever wins the overall match of them gets the title shot.
So, and I agree. I love this plan that you have drawn out here too, because it means that Santana Ortiz would be the ones that take the titles from the Young Bucks instead of what's their names? I forgot their names. Oh, Moxley and Kingston. That's right. Yeah.
See, I want Moxley and Kingston to have the titles because it would just make me happy. But logically, because I am smart on this, I have planned Santana Ortiz getting his tag titles by Full Gear. So I have literally mapped their entire career out for the rest of 2021. So
there's no other way to go. She's got a map.
Let's face it, we know Mox is going out, becoming a dad at some point. So he can't go get them titles and then go away for a bit. So I'm logical in the fact that Santana Ortiz are on the path to getting them titles.
Yep. You're smarter than you look. I agree.
I am the brains.
Maybe. It's debatable. All right. Any other comments about this match?
I'm so excited.
It's epic. I cannot wait. Gosh,
I
can't wait.
I'm so excited to review this as well.
I know.
My excitement is on par for actually watching it and reviewing it.
It's about the same. Because and what's bad is though, I watch it on Wednesday and right before I go to bed, which makes it really hard to go to sleep every night too, by the way, because I get up
really difficult.
really early in the morning for work, and I have to stay up late to watch Dynamite. So, but yeah, get done, and I want to like call you up right then and start reviewing it there. But
you can try. You can try and get hold of me, but I'm asleep.
I can't, but you're asleep because you're in the UK, and then now I have to wait all day. I got to work, and then
well, for me,
get to this
so
review.
Easy.
I know.
I don't know.
I'm lucky.
It's like every now and again tells me you really should watch this live. My sleep pattern is bad as it is. I don't need to add additional stresses to my sleep pattern. Let's put it that way.
No, stick with what you got. It works good for the reviews too, because you get you get to talk about it fairly fresh.
Yeah.
Because you watch it and then just a few hours later we're
and I can get you excited for it and you can remember it again.
Yeah, trust me, I don't think I'm gonna have an issue remembering this show.
And also, we'll
I
see if our predictions are right.
Yeah, I'm pretty solid on my Britt Baker pick.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we've got Britt right.
So yes, we are both excited for Blood and Guts, as I'm sure all of y'all are. I don't know why you wouldn't be. If you're not, check your pulse.
Yep.
So hope you enjoyed the show. We enjoyed doing this preview because we don't do previews.
No.
That's something we normally do.
Again.
So you never know.
If you like it and you want us to do preview of a pay-per-view, let us know.
And we might do it. We might do it anyways, but we'll definitely do it if everybody wants us to do it.
Yeah.
If we feel like there's some support, yeah, definitely. So let us know what you think. Don't forget to subscribe to AEW Rewind. Leave us a comment, as we've mentioned. Please do that. Love the comments. Hit the like button. And follow us on Twitter. You can follow me at Let the Beard Play, or you can follow her, Sarah, at Strange_Pixie. So please do that because we love talking AEW. Again, we hope you enjoy the show. Don't forget to check out our review of Dynamite, which will be coming out Friday normally after this Dynamite, where we're going to be talking about Blood and Guts. Yeah.
And also, everybody, make sure for the review that we will be doing that you have some questions ready.
Yes. Because there should be some good questions coming out of this Blood and Guts. There should be some great ones. All right. Thank y'all for listening to us. Y'all be good out there, and we'll see you on the next one.
Bye.